This is one of the craziest sports ownership stories you will ever hear, and there's no way it could ever happen today because the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate and no longer the Wild Wild West like it was once upon a time. But the original owner of the Baltimore Colts, Carroll Rosenbloom, is one of the cheapest owners in the history of sports. And take it from me, as a die-hard Minnesota sports fan who has the Pohlads with the Minnesota Twins and Glenn Taylor for over 30 years with the Minnesota Timberwolves, I know a thing or two about cheap sports owners because back in 1953, Carroll Rosenbloom started the Baltimore Colts at a cost of $13,000. However, in 1972, the Los Angeles Rams came for sale, and Carroll Rosenbloom, he wanted to purchase the Rams because he hated living in Baltimore and he wanted to move to Southern California and wanted to own a team where he lived. But there was a problem because the NFL stipulated that an owner couldn't own two teams at the same time. So this meant that Carroll Rosenbloom would have to sell the Colts and then go and purchase the Rams. However, Carroll Rosenbloom is one of the cheapest bastards in the history of mankind, and he didn't want to pay the $4.4 million in capital gains taxes if he sold the Colts. So instead of selling the Colts and then going and purchasing the Rams, he called up his good friend Robert Irsay, and he asked Robert if he'd be willing to purchase the Los Angeles Rams for $19 million on his behalf and then trade him the Rams in exchange for the Colts. And shockingly, Robert Irsay, he said he'd do it. And that is how the Irsay family came to owning the Indianapolis Colts that are now valued at over $5.7 billion.